Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Blake V. Joining us today is a man that started as a chemical engineer and ended up with an Academy Award. Please welcome Jim Foley. Jim is here to share his incredible story that landed him a spot in Hollywood. He was a man that started off in sales and made an innovative discovery that changed the atmosphere in Hollywood. Thank you for joining us today, Jim.
Thank you for having me, Blake.
Now, prior to your accomplishments in the film industry, where were you working?
I was working as a sales engineer for USISCO, who is a division of Praxair, an industrial gas company, mainly working in refineries.
And from there, how did Hollywood go about contacting you?
Well, Hollywood, Matt Sweeney specifically, the gentleman that was the special effects coordinator for Batman and Robin, called our parent company, Praxair, and talked to a friend of mine, Mark Plant, and asked to order 10 truckloads of liquid nitrogen to make fog. And Mark said, we would not sell you that much liquid nitrogen because there's no oxygen in it. You're going to end up killing someone or hurting someone. Matt said, well, no problem. Just throw some oxygen in it. And Mark said, well, we've tried, and we've never been successful in doing that. And Matt's comment was, well, this is Hollywood calling. Would you try again? Mark said, I think I know someone that might be interested in doing that. He gave him my contact information. Matt called me up. Rest is history.
Well, you got in touch with the right person, that's for sure. Now tell us a little bit about your invention and why it's more beneficial on set than what was used before.
Well, traditionally they used liquid nitrogen or dry ice, which is fine if you're using small amounts of fog. But when you're making large amounts with lots of people there is no oxygen in it. And you do have people passing out, getting sick. The difference in our product is we put the oxygen in it. We found a way to do it so that now the fog has the same oxygen as breathing air.
Well, that's great. I'm sure the cast and crew were really happy about that. Now, we were fortunate enough to get some footage of you hard at work in your warehouse where the creation of liquid synthetic air began. Let's take a look at the clip.
End of the day, everybody had headaches and they were pretty crabby, and that's a sign of not enough oxygen. Foley came over, we talked about the problem. He says, well, you know, this has never been done.
Jim, look, I don't care what it takes, just make it happen. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Well, actually, the stunt guys were the people that commented on it because they'd have to get knocked out and then lay in it, you know. And so they're laying there playing like they're knocked out, and they were breathing it, you know, they're going, hey, this is great, you know. We've done this in regular old-style fog before and gagged.
This is placed directly onto here, okay? So that when the steam and the liquid air hits right on the plate, the first thing it's going to do is shoot up the plate. This hat or baffle hits it so that it can't shoot any mixture that's right here that it would contain water doesn't shoot out the pipe. The two liquids do not make a nice homogeneous mixture. You can't just put them in a tank and run a recirculation pump and stir them together. It doesn't work. As soon as it goes into here, it's hitting the ambient temperature, which is a lot warmer. And as soon as it hits that, it flashes off into a gas, into air.
See, our primary concern on all of this is safety. And that's one of our mandates as special effects people, is to do all of these effects and do them safely so that nobody gets hurt. I mean, after all, it's only a movie.
Well, that's the nice thing about this, is there's no worries.
Now, Batman and Robin was your first time working on the set of a movie. What was it like going into work every day?
Wow, what can I say? I mean, I came from working in refineries to walking onto a Hollywood set with all the stars, everything else. And it is something that is really hard to explain, but make no doubt about it, they are probably some of the hardest working people in industry. We worked 20-hour days, 24-hour days, slept on the set, get ready to go immediately, wait 5 hours, be ready to go in 5 minutes. Something that's really amazing system.
Wow, and the invention of liquid synthetic air was so remarkable that it won you an Academy Award that year. Let's take a look at your big win.
A cue for a little practical demonstration. What's swiftly surrounding me is called liquid synthetic air. I like this stuff. This is cool. It's helping me with my atmosphere. It provides a stable, breathable mixture of liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen for the creation of safe, Low-lying fog effects in motion pictures. Does it go with a dress? It feels like it. For those of you down front, there's no need to worry. These chemicals are completely safe unless somehow accidentally ingested with lamb or halibut. Just kidding. Actually, one of the advantages of liquid synthetic air is that it isn't necessary to vent the soundstage periodically or to monitor the low-lying areas of the set to ensure the safety of performers and production staff. In addition, the fog can be left on at all times, and this is so great, which means that the lighting and other elements that must be preset can be accomplished under identical conditions to those that will exist for the actual shot. So when hysterical actors arrive, they can actually go straight to work. For the development and realization of liquid synthetic air, the Academy is pleased to present the Technical Achievement Awards tonight to James F. Foley, Charles E. Converse, F. Edward Gardner, Robert W. Stoker, and Matt Sweeney.
How thrilling to receive a mention like that. It must have been an amazing night.
It really was.
Tell us about your experience there.
It was an experience like you can't even imagine. I mean, we rolled up to the Academy Awards in a limo, walked out of the limo with cameras focusing on you, walking backstage and seeing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and all the other stars that are there that night. We even got to use some of our liquid synthetic air and made fog for Celine Dion when she sang the song for the Titanic that they won that year. I mean, it's an experience that I will never forget.
Oh, that's great. And what other films did this event lead to?
Well, I've actually done more than 15 films. Some of my favorites are Deep Impact, Armageddon, Spider-Man, and probably one of my favorites would be Artificial Intelligence, and that's because Steven Spielberg actually directed it, and working with him was just amazing.
Oh, wow. Well, that's an incredible list. Now, you were on a number of sets with various stars, and I'm sure you have plenty of stories. Could you tell us a few of the memorable ones?
Well, sure. My favorite by far was all the way back on Batman and Robin. The first time I brought my family to the set, and Batman and Robin had just got done filming a scene, and my kids walked up to him, and Batman, or George Clooney, walked up to him and says, "Hi, my name's Batman."
Oh, wow.
And I mean, to sit around and that day and let my kids experience it. I mean, each of my kids got to sit on George Clooney's lap, talking to him, talking to the other stars, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just an amazing day.
Yeah, how wonderful to be able to have those memories from work. Now that's all we have time for tonight, but Jim, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us. It was a pleasure meeting with you.
You're very welcome.
Make sure to join us next week when Behind the Scenes brings you the man that made sparks fly on the set of Speed, special effects creator Phil Corey. Have a good night.